Hello everybody, my name is Alyssa Young, and today I'll be doing my job opportunity presentation on the Queen Creek Police Department. So Queen Creek Police Department is a fairly new department. They were founded in January 2022. They currently have 60 sworn police officers. They patrol 42 square miles, and they are looking to hire more cadets and laterals as the department is growing. And recently, the chief was able to increase the starting pay to $60,000. So it is a great time right now to enter the criminal justice field. So Queen Creek Police Department requirements are fairly similar to other police departments. According to queencreekaz.gov, to be an officer with them, you have to be 21 years of age or higher, a U.S. citizen, have an Arizona valid driver's license, and no felonies. They also say, though, their ideal candidate supports a community-based policing approach, has integrity, and they're respectful to their teams and the community they serve. For my presentation, I interviewed Officer Rachel Delatorre of Queen Creek Police Department, or QCPD for short. Officer Delatorre started her career as an on-scene victims advocate, and she later became a trooper for the Department of Public Safety. In August of 2021, she became an officer for QCPD before its official opening in January of 2022. As previously mentioned, the interview process is also similar to other police departments. According to queencreekaz.gov, the interview process consists of physical tests, which will have push-ups, sit-ups, and a 1.5-mile run. Once you pass that, you'll be invited to a written and an online assessment, and then you'll be invited to interview with chief or those in command. And an interview tip from Officer Delatorre says, try to communicate your personality in the framework of their questioning so that you can really display who you are, but still be able to answer those questions efficiently and effectively. When asking Officer Delatorre, what are the hurdles to employment? One of the first things she says is that it's a man's world. According to National Law Enforcement Memorial and Museum, 12% of officers are females. This can also be a hurdle when it comes to the testing requirements that may work certain muscle groups that are harder for women, such as push-ups or pull-ups. While it is achievable, it may be a hurdle to some who have to work just a bit harder for that. Another hurdle is that some training is preferred over others, such as having military experience versus working in the people's services. Law enforcement may value military experience because it is a structured format and overlook the essential skills that are obtained when you do work in social services or in the mental health field. A tip from Officer Delatorre, she says, don't give up. It's very possible you don't pass the first test or get picked by the first agency. If you want it, you just keep working at it. She also says it is essential to have good advisors and a support system through the hiring process, through the academy, and throughout your career as a law enforcement officer. Some law enforcement stressors are officer safety, which includes ambushings, officer killings, but also connecting with the community. Officer Delatorre says it's a hard balance having the community feel safe with the police and also let the police feel safe with the community. She also says, if someone tells me that they hate the cops, I am not personally offended. I usually acknowledge that a lot of their feelings are valid, and I hope that their experience with me shows them the difference. So current issues facing the field, QCPD specifically, since they are a brand new agency, they also need to establish the trust. She says to connect with the community, to establish a partnership with the community, and that takes intentional effort. It takes thinking outside the box. And current issues facing law enforcement in general is disconnect between society and policing, not having that two-way communication that's vital for effective community policing. But also having high-profile cases, they highlight the need for more training and how to de-escalate as an officer. but also, which is just as important, talking to people with mental health issues and how to interact with them in a safe and effective manner. In this next section here, we'll be discussing how I prepared for entering the criminal justice field. The first section is my education, advancing it by completing my Associates in Arts in 2021, but now finishing my Bachelor's in Justice Studies with an emphasis in intelligence this spring. I've also earned my certificate in juvenile justice and victimology. And overall, in my academic career, it really has enhanced and honed in those research and writing skills that are pertinent in the criminal justice field in all forms of a job. And the second way which I've prepared for the criminal justice field is my previous work experience. I was a flight attendant for 4 years, and during that time I interacted with a wide variety of people and situations. I've had in-flight emergencies, medical emergencies, security incidents, unruly passengers, and just about anything else you can imagine. It has really allowed me to be adaptable, flexible with my schedule, work really long hours, and in unstable environments. I've also worked as a juvenile corrections officer in one of our highest security settings. This allowed me to see the corrections part of the criminal justice system, which I think is really vital for a rounded approach and knowledge to working in that field. It also allowed me to learn the state, local, and imperial laws and how to really apply those in real life situations. And then the last way for preparing for the field is by immersing myself in a community of law enforcement. I have families and friends in law enforcement who have really given me valuable insight into the job, what the current stressors are, what the daily struggles are, but also the really positive and rewarding aspects of the job. And I've also done many ride-alongs, which gave me firsthand knowledge of what an officer goes through and how maybe a small situation can potentially be dangerous or escalate into something else. Overall, all three of these have really allowed me to have a rounded approach and knowledge to the type of career I want to go into. And before I end this presentation, I want to end on a note from Officer Delatorre about the type of person and type of character you need to have to work in the criminal justice field. She says, you need to have a love of the law and our justice system. You have to want it to work. And ethically, you want to want justice for the people who have been wronged. You can't work and fight for justice if you don't have integrity. A skewed measure can't bring justice. You must have character that is above reproach to wear a badge, and you have to have compassion and be a trustworthy person with that power. Thank you everybody for watching, and I enjoyed this presentation and being able to share Twin Creek Police Department with you. Thank you.